Today I'm super excited to make this video about New York City Comic-Con 2025. Before we get into why I'm excited, it's gonna really be about what Star Wars stuff is going on at New York City Comic-Con this year. New York City Comic-Con is one of the biggest comic, superhero, any kind of cool comic, anime, hero-related stuff that you could think of, toys, books, movies, pop culture, is at New York City Comic-Con, and it's one of the largest conventions on the planet. It's held annually at the Javits Center downtown, and I'll be going this year on Friday and possibly Thursday. So this video is going to give you pretty much everything you need to know as of September 2nd in terms of what to expect for Star Wars, right? That's like the main purpose of why I'm going, to see what's going on with Star Wars. Now, I'm into Marvel, I'm into some anime stuff too, but my main thing is my love for Star Wars. But wait, before we actually go any further, do me a quick favor, hit that like button down below. It helps the channel a lot. And if you want to see more content like this, if you want to meet up at Comic-Con too, definitely comment down below, share your thoughts. It helps the channel out. And it would be pretty cool to do a friends meetup, even if it's only a few people. I mean, we could even hang out after, get food, whatever, you know, it'll be a great time. So we're going to cover a little bit of everything. We're going to cover the dates, the ticket information, the guests, panels and screenings, exclusives, some that haven't been announced yet, some that have been leaked. We're going to talk about who's going to be in Artist Alley. We're going to talk about the people that I'm looking forward to seeing the most at this year's convention. And if you want to get your information a little bit quicker, be sure to utilize the chapters down below so you can browse the video quicker and get the information you need. Let's just jump right into the website here today. Now, this is at NewYorkCityComicCon.com, and there's still time to actually buy your tickets. Looks like it's $80 a day, and Saturday is sold out. Now, again, this video is as of September 2nd, so the prices will go up, I think, $5 after September 8th at 11:59 p.m. I know they've actually started shipping out the tickets. I haven't got mine yet, but if you haven't gotten yours yet, don't worry, we're all kind of like in the same boat waiting. But if you do want to attend, there's still tickets available for Thursday, Friday, Sunday. The sold out portions are Saturday and the 4-day. My personal advice, I've been to Comic-Con about 4 or 5 times now, I'd say, maybe 6. My advice, get there early. You want to be the first one in so you can actually enjoy yourself. You don't want to be like super swamped in the mid-afternoon rush around 1 to 2 p.m. So let's start off with the guests. Again, we're going to just do really Star Wars focused stuff. So right away, you can see the big one is going to be Bryce Dallas Howard. Now, if you remember, Bryce Dallas Howard has directed several episodes in The Mandalorian, but she's also known for her work on Jurassic World, Spider-Man 3, and Twilight. I am thinking about getting her autograph on issue number 4 of the Mandalorian comic, just because that was the first piece of content she did direct for Star Wars, and that is the comic that also has the first featuring of Cara Dune, and it's the first time we meet Cara Dune too. And I thought it was just a very sweet story, you know, where Grogu gets to meet and play with different children, and the Mandalorian is kind of like on a little side quest where he goes and he saves a village full of innocent people. So here, obviously, you can see a little blurb about Bryce Dallas Howard. The autograph is going to be $100, and the photo op is $115, which I'd like to remind you, one thing that people don't know about the artists, sometimes the artists and the guests don't set their prices. It's actually the conventions, right? Because they get a fee of this as well. So don't think too much into it. If they're popular, it's going to be more. If they're not popular, it's going to be less. That's just kind of how it is. And on a quick note, if you're going to New York City Comic-Con, or if you wish you were going to New York City Comic-Con, let me know who you'd like to meet and get an autograph from. For example, I do have a wish list of people I want. We're going to talk about them a little bit later, but one person I do want to meet in New York City Comic-Con that they haven't announced, and that I don't know if they're going to announce, is Ivana Sakno. And I'd love to get this cool Shin Hati card signed, because she was my favorite character in Ahsoka Season 2 so far, probably next to Baylan Skoll. And next on the list, we do have Ming-Na Wen, who, if you remember correctly, is Fennec Shan and The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, and she's a total freaking badass. So she's going to be a Saturday, Sunday person, so I'm probably going to miss her this year. I wasn't necessarily looking to get the autograph, but the autograph is $80 and the photo op is $120. Very, very cool, and I've heard she's a really, really cool person to meet as well. And just to recap, Bryce Dallas Howard will be there on Saturday and Sunday as well. Damn. All right, so I might have to pay someone to go grab an autograph. That's okay. Next on the Star Wars list that people really aren't talking about, because she hasn't made her debut yet on screen, is Sigourney Weaver. Now, Sigourney Weaver is most famous for Alien, the Alien franchise. So she'll be there as well Friday and Saturday. I'm just seeing it now here in the bottom over here. And she'll be, looks like autographing as well. And her autographs are going to be, wow, 220 and photo op 230. She's going to become super popular. I mean, she's already super popular, right? But she's going to be even like more popular on top of the popular because she's making her entry into the Star Wars universe with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And that thing I think is going to blow up. I think it's going to do really well. I'm not too crazy about the plot, a video for another time, but I still think it's going to do very well. So moving on, let's cheat a little bit. I'm using Control F over here. We have Alan Kwa, who's an artist alley, who has comic involvement in Star Wars issue number 5, as you can see here. Moving forward, we do have Casper Wingard. Now, Casper Wingard has this super sick variant cover on Star Wars Dr. Aphra, and I'm going to post it right here for you. I have a copy. I'm thinking about getting it autographed. His art is really, really cool and off the charts, and I really do love his art style, especially that Dr. Aphra cover. As you can see, I'm a big Dr. Aphra fan. I got the omnibus over there. I got it signed last year by Kieran Gillen. Looking forward to seeing him again if he's there. Next, we have Dax, who worked on Star Wars Adventures, Luke Skywalker, and the Treasure of Dragon Snakes. Not familiar with him. I haven't really read too much of Star Wars Adventures, but he'll be there all days in Artist Alley. Then we have E.M. Gist. Not too familiar with him either, but he'll be in Artist Alley as well all days. Kwame Mbabalia, Star Wars The Last Order. His location is to be determined, but he'll be there on Saturday. You have Rachel Stott, Artist Alley all days. Rochelle Rosenberg, who worked on Star Wars as well, and The Mandalorian. And she'll be there all day as well. So far, a lot of comic stuff. Not too much in terms of big name actors otherwise for Star Wars. But we do have Rodney Barnes as well, who also worked on Star Wars, and he'll be in Artist Alley all day. Tracy Ching, who worked on Star Wars Reign of the Empire, who's going to be, again, Artist Alley all days. Again, this is as of September 2nd. These lists do update closer to the convention. So let's keep on going to panels and screenings. And as you can see, I have all my tabs laid out here. I'm like legitimately excited for Comic-Con. You know, something about Comic-Con is just truly special. It's like you go in there and everyone is united in their love for like pop culture, comics, books, movies, wrestling, action heroes, Star Wars, whatever, right? There's just something there for everyone. Everyone is united in that love for all these different mediums of art. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be about what you like. It's just that general appreciation for pop culture and art. And I think being that we live in such a divisive time and, you know, there's so much hatred out there and we all get wrapped up in it too, you know, I'm sure we all have at one point or another. It's so like refreshing to be in like that positive environment. So that's why, on a side note, I'm always looking forward to going to Comic-Con, and it's really one of my like favorite things to do every year. And even if I didn't get anything, it's just to be there in that environment with good people, good feelings, just good vibes all around, in a really special place and moment in time. Fans of pop culture, kids and adults, all of us, just one big grouping together having a good time. But let's move on to panels and screenings. And I'm sorry if it bounces back between dark mode on and off. It's just the configuration on the webpage, I guess, and my dark mode extension. But anyway, these are some of the panels and screenings you can expect this year at the 2025 New York City Comic-Con. And so for the first panel and screening that pops up when you query for Star Wars, you have Star Wars The Clone Wars Era meetup at New York City Comic-Con from 11 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. Thursday, October 9th at the North Level 2 fan meetup section. So to my understanding, this is going to be a meetup of people who like cosplay and Clone Wars era stuff. And I think there's also going to be, right here, there's going to be some special guests there pertaining to cosplay and stuff. But you don't have to be a cosplayer to go to these things. You can just go, have fun, talk, meet, take cool photos. And the next panel screening is going to be Star Wars Storytime, also Thursday, 12:40 to 1:40 in the Javits Hall 1E. And here they're going to have Star Wars books, music, crafts, and special appearances by friends from a galaxy far, far away. I'm curious to see who that's going to be. Should be interesting. It looks like it's going to also be a charitable event too, raising money for Make-A-Wish, which is very, very, very nice. On the same day, you also have Star Wars Meetup, 12:45 to 1:30, Thursday, October 9th, in the Javits Hall 1E, Star Wars Community Groups area. So it actually sounds pretty cool. There's a Star Wars community group area. I didn't even know about that. Whether you're on the light side or the dark side, all Star Wars cosplayers and the fans are welcome to this meetup hosted by Rebel Legion's Echo Base. Now, to my knowledge, I think this is like their 6th annual meetup, so that'll be pretty cool too. I might go. You know, let me know if you guys go. If you guys go, I'll go too. There's a lot to do. I just have one ticket right now, and there's a lot to do in that, you know, one-day time span. I don't know if I can do everything at once. And on Friday, there's also going to be a Star Wars meetup, 12:45 to 1:30, the same area, Javits Hall 1E. And then we have the George Lucas Talk Show from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, October 11th, North Room 406.2. The George Lucas Talk Show is improvised. The George Lucas Talk Show is an improvised talk show in New York City hosted by comedian Connor Radcliffe, appears as George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars. So that'll actually be pretty cool. It's going to have Patrick Kenwar, Connor Ratcliffe, Griffin Newman, and Zach Cherry. If it's who I think it is, that actually sounds pretty cool. Moving on, we have Star Wars merch on Saturday, October 11th from 1:30, and the ending time is to be determined at this point. Javits Hall 1E. A lot of good stuff on Saturday. Annual Star Wars parade through the New York City Comic Con featuring the 501st, Rebel Legion, Echo Base, Saber Guild Empire, Mandalorian, Mercs, Falco Clan, and the Tri-State Droid Builders. If you want to trade Star Wars pins, Saturday, October 11th, 2:45 to 3:30. Again, Javits Hall 1E Community Stage. Storytime returns again on Saturday, October 11th, 3 to 3:45. Same area, Javits Hall 1E, the Family and Interactive Workshop area. And Sunday, there's another Star Wars meetup, Sunday, October 12th, 1:15 to 2 o'clock, Javits Hall 1E, Star Wars Community Group area. So, pretty cool. And again, I think we saw this before, the guest Little Pope cosplay will be there as well. So again, remember, this is as of September 2nd. I can almost guarantee you they're going to announce some cool last minute stuff. So again, this is part 1, and there'll be a part 2 video. So make sure to check out the part 2 video. And again, I'm not really going in any super particular order, but before we jump into Artist Alley, let's go into the exhibitor exclusives. Now, if you're here watching this video on this little channel of 2,000 subscribers, either you found me out or you love Star Wars to the point that we all do, right? I got a little Shin Hati card right here. I got a Dr. After Omnibus over there. You can see some Black Series stuff. You have the Clone Trooper dropship over there too. So let's move into the exclusives so far for New York City Comic Con 2025 for Star Wars merch. Let's see what they got. First exclusive that pops up is a New York City 2025 Star Wars Force Awakens 10th anniversary train. Okay, I guess $100. The team at Lionel Trains has created a truly epic limited edition and uniquely numbered Star Wars The Force Awakens 10th anniversary boxcar. This item is sure to sell out fast and is limited to only 100 units. You know, funny enough, I'm here thinking, oh, this card might be rare one day. That action figure might be rare. This is the kind of thing that'll actually blow up in price for some reason. So if you're into train sets or if you're into like holiday stuff, I think this would actually be a great item for you to have. This is pretty cool if you like to wear earrings. You got the convention exclusive Star Wars Rebel stud set. And it looks like it's got a helmet, an X-Wing, and the Rebellion logo. You have the Darth Nihilus Hallmark exclusive ornament. After that, at booth 3540, Star Wars Legacy of Vader number 8 trade exclusive. Okay, this is something I'd be interested in. I'm not sure what the cover is going to be. Limited to 3,000 with a certificate of authenticity. Let's see what the issue number 8 is going to look like. All right, so according to Marvel, these are the covers. Not sure if that's going to be the exact cover that's going to be at that booth. We do have some interesting covers here for Legacy of Vader. Legacy of Vader by Charles Soule. It's been a little hit or miss for me. There's been one particular issue that I thought was fantastic that talked about Yaddle. But you know, it's not bad. It has Vinay, it has some cool one-off issues. Some of the issues are kind of like duds, but so far not so bad. A little bit of hit or miss, but when it's a little bit of a hit or miss, sometimes that means there's a little bit of something for everyone. Moving on to our next exclusive is from the same booth. It's really one of the same. It's the same comic, but it's going to be the Virgin exclusive, which basically means it's going to be the comic art with no advertising, with no Marvel, nothing. It's just going to legit be the photo of the comic, like that cover drawing, and that's it. After that, we have the Star Wars Darth Vader enamel pin. It looks a little pixely. And then last but not least, at least on the New York City Comic Con page, we do have the Star Wars Jawa vintage figure ornament, which is actually like kind of cool. It'll actually be a kind of cool ornament to have. It's like the old style vintage card backs, but in the style of an ornament. Only 3,500 produced, bro. You know, they might run out, which I doubt they will, but still, it's cool. You know, collecting nowadays, you can't really collect for value. You have to collect for what you love because you can never really determine what's going to be valuable. And nowadays, they just overproduce like crazy anyway. So in my opinion, collect what you love. That's why I'm not collecting cards anymore. I bought like, I think like 2 or 3 packs of these, and that's it, because there's hundreds of them. And even the numbered ones, it's like numbered out of 150, and it's like, I don't know, some like random character that no one cares about. Like, is that really a collectible? That's why I said collect what you love. All right, now there are 2 other exclusives here that aren't on the exhibitor page but have leaked. So if you don't want spoilers, skip to the next part of the video. If you want spoilers and you want to find out about these exclusives that aren't on the New York City Comic Con website, tune in right now. On Facebook, the Pop exclusive, the Loth Cat, the freaking Loth Cat, and it's pink, numbered 799, and it's going to be sold at New York City Comic Con. Now, I have seen New York City Comic Con pops be sold after the fact, but this is actually kind of a cool one. So if you're into pop figures and you like Loth Cats, this might be the collectible for you. If you want, let me know and I'll just grab you one, I guess. But this is one of the New York City Comic Con exclusives that aren't on the website yet. Again, September 2nd, keep that in mind. For whatever reason, they wait a little bit closer to the date to announce certain things, I guess, to like keep the hype going. And the top comments are funny. If you want to pause the video and read them for yourself, go ahead. I'm not going to read them, but they are funny. And moving on to the exclusive that I think I'm going to grab. I usually don't grab too many things. I might get a few autographs here and there, which we'll talk about in a bit. But the one thing I actually might grab, courtesy of bleedingcool.com, it is one of those cool 3-piece packs where Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and a recently returned to the light side Anakin Skywalker look upon Luke Skywalker and Leia as they finally brought balance to the Force. Let's look at the next photo here from the Star Wars Vintage Collection. Get a little side view, and here are some close-ups of the figures. Now, this is kind of why I want it. I like that they did this like blue hue, I guess with a type of cloth over them to give them that effect as if they're Force ghosts. And they do have the swappable head for Anakin, which I think will actually make this somewhat of a collector's item, right? Paying homage to the original actor who portrayed Anakin Skywalker way back when. And we also see the head here again of Sebastian Shaw, the actor who played the original Anakin Skywalker in that Force Ghost scene. Nice and smiling, just like he was in that scene, at least portraying him as so. Very, very cool. I actually think this is something that is worth looking for, worth maybe getting, because it does give that cool collector's vibe. And if you're not able to make New York City Comic Con and you want to get it online, the article does say pre-orders aren't live yet, but the Star Wars Force Spirits 3-pack will be offered at fall 2025 conventions like New York City Comic Con, MCM London, and Hasbro Pulse at a later date for you guys who want to get it online. Again, Hasbro Pulse. Now, as for which booth you can grab this at, not totally sure just yet, but I assume it's going to be like the Hasbro booth, or it'll be labeled in some sort of grand way because Hasbro, the Vintage Collection, is a really big thing for collectors. And moving on to the final segments of this video, let's jump into Artist Alley for those of you like me who love some of the Star Wars comics. Now, for whatever reason on the New York City Comic Con website, when you do type in Star Wars to the list, it doesn't actually generate anything, clearly just listing it by the artist names. So with that being said, I did pull out two particular artists, authors too, that I'm looking forward to meeting the most and that I think you would look forward to meeting the most as well. Number one, Timothy Zahn, who will be at booth F29. Timothy Zahn pretty much created Admiral Thrawn, the Heir to the Empire series, and was really the first author to tackle the sequels to the original trilogy way back in the 90s. He really paved the way forward for a lot of things Star Wars, and you know he's important because Lucasfilm trusted his characters and his stories through Star Wars Rebels and the Ahsoka show to really carry Star Wars going forward, especially after what happened with the sequels. They're kind of all in on this, so I'm surprised they're not making a bigger deal about this. I'm going to stop by, have a quick 30-second chat with him in my vlog, and I'm also going to get probably like a comic sign. Those are some of the things I'm looking forward to the most about meeting Timothy Zahn, the autographs, and just having a quick conversation about him. The second person I'm looking forward to seeing again, because I saw him last year, is Charles Soule. Now, Charles is the author of Legacy of Vader, and he's the author of a lot of other things Star Wars, including a lot of High Republic content, which really wasn't personally for me, but I still have a lot of respect for the guy because when you read his stories, even though not all of them are stories that I like, tell he puts his heart and effort into Star Wars, and you could tell it's genuine. There's no animosity towards one side of the fan base or the other. He's just doing it because he really likes it. And I have a general appreciation for people who love Star Wars and who are selfless when they create Star Wars. I like to have him autograph one of my Legacy of Vader issues, the particular issue with Yaddle, because some of these issues in the Legacy of Vader are actually very good, in particular the Yaddle issue, and another issue I actually covered in a lore video, which you can catch right over here, about the Ghost of Order 66, and they're actually like very, 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 very good stories. So highly recommend them. And I definitely want to get a chance to tell them how much I enjoy them and maybe a few autographs too. Now on my show notes here on my phone, I did make a quick list of people who I'd want to meet at New York City Comic Con who aren't featuring yet. So I do have some high hopes about who I want to see there. First person I like to see who I haven't seen listed is a big one, and I don't know if he's going to make it. It's Ian McDiarmid. He plays Palpatine. Who wouldn't want a photo or an autograph from the Emperor himself? Second one, we mentioned before, Ivana Sakno, right? She plays Shin Hati. She's awesome. She seems like a very loving caring and cool and kind person too. So like little things I'd love to get signed. This Shin Hati card, maybe the Shin Hati Black Series. You know, who knows what other Shin Hati merch I may have laying around. After that, Pedro Pascal. I love the Mandalorian. He was actually the character I modeled my page after when I first started. For those of you who are like in the first 100 subscribers here, actually, you know what? I'll throw it up. Here's the OG banner with the Mandalorian in it. Very, very cool stuff. I'd love to meet Pedro and just get an autograph or perhaps a photo. After that, Gina Carano. No need to mention why I love Gina Carano. I think she's awesome. I think she is one of the true strong female characters that is missing from Star Wars. Not to say that the other female characters aren't strong, but Gina Carano was a big piece of The Mandalorian. Her, Pedro Pascal, and Carl Weathers really had something special going on with that show. So I grew very fond of her through that show, her performance, and what her character meant to me and the Mandoverse as a whole. And I mean, who didn't love how awesome her and Carl Weathers were together, on screen and off screen? I mean, they just had a great chemistry that you really can't find too many places between actors. After that, I love to see Kieran Gillen again. You know, he's one of the guys who really developed Dr. Aphra, one of the OG creators of Dr. Aphra, 000 and BT. Kieran is one of the guys who really created one of the best original characters so far in the Disney era in Dr. Aphra. Dr. Aphra is like an anti-hero version of Han Solo, and she's totally chaotic. That first run is really, really legendary stuff. So Kieran actually signed my omnibus last year, and he put a cool little drawing in there with a little message. I'd love to meet him again. And I think every time I meet him, I'm just going to have him draw like a new little character in the book, almost as like a little scrapbook. And last but not least, and I'm sure I'm leaving a lot of people out of this, but again, this is only part one of a two-part series. The second part will be shorter because there's going to be less stuff to cover. I'd love to meet Luke Ross. Now, I want to have Luke Ross autograph a particular comic I have. It's the Thrawn #6 Luke Ross variant. It's super, super rare, and it's truly a beautiful cover. So I actually wanted to get it witnessed, autographed, and sent away to be graded. He's also just an awesome dude. I've shared DMs with him as well. So he's someone who would just be cool to me. And again, have a conversation with, you know, put a name to the face again, and have a little chat. He might actually remember me based on the DMs, and I'm sure he will, you know, when we start speaking. So it would be very cool to talk to Luke in person and get to meet him again. But with that being said, this is what we have so far planned out for Star Wars at New York City Comic Con 2025. Stay tuned for part 2, because again, as it gets closer to the date, there are going to be more announcements, and I'm expecting, or being wishful in my thinking, that they're going to do more Star Wars related stuff. And I have a feeling they might, especially coming off the high that was Andor Season 2. And I'm sure there's going to be a ton of collectibles roaming the floors, because all these great comic book shops and toy shops are coming to the convention too that we really didn't touch on because there's so many. Again, New York City Comic Con 2025, Star Wars, there's something for everyone. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It means a lot to me, and it helps my channel out a lot. And until New York City Comic Con 2025, guys, or part 2 of this video actually, stay safe out there, and may the Force be with you always. I'll catch you guys in that part 2. See you then.